Don't burp. Do not burp in my face. What do you want to say?
Don't sniff it.
Bro, this is not your time to shine, buddy. You're going to calm that down, buddy. Oh my gosh. All right, come on. You know, there came a point in my life. Why do you always have to start moving the moment I start talking? Am I like interrupting your sleep or something? Is that why you always jump the moment? Well, it's not even when I press record. Do you have an answer? Don't move your tail. Hi, guys. I'm here to tell you about the day that I realized all my best friends are comedians. And when I say best friends, I mean I don't actually have any friends at all, but the people who have been a part of my life longer than anyone, friends or family even at this point, are all my favorite comics. So, you know I have to edit those sounds out, right? Right? You know that? Do you know that? So I used to have this list of my 5 favorite comedians, and it was like, okay, kind of in order of the way that I knew them. You know, Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, Jim Gaffigan, and Sebastian Maniscalco came in at the end because, oh my goodness, this dude's so funny. And I didn't really realize how much I loved him until I realized that every time I wanted to share a comedian with somebody, I was showing them his stand-up. Someone that's not a stand-up is Will Ferrell, but he's my birthday twin, and I've been watching him since like SNL, and a lot of my favorite movies have. In fact, my favorite movie, Stranger Than Fiction. My little baby, little Will. For me, I've always known how much I connect with comedians, but it wasn't until I didn't have friends anymore that I realized how influential comedians and comedy has been on my whole life, like even my whole upbringing. I used to watch SNL, MadTV, ComicView. If it was available to me, like I was there every week or every night. I loved watching specials. I loved watching things that I was not supposed to be watching even. Like I went to go see, I think Run Tell That in theaters the day it came out. I was in high school. Like, I don't know. I just have a really strong connection to the idea that laughter is medicine. And now I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching stand-up comedians from all over. I enjoy a little bit of like skits and, you know, stuff like that. Like I really actually secretly love Good Mythical Morning. They're just goofy. I know they're not really comedians, but I like to laugh. I like to have fun. I think that I need to like thank these people. I mean, truly, without them, without the laughter that I know I can always tap into and how healing that has been, I just don't know if I would still be here. And I know that sounds very dramatic, but the more you get to know me, the more you'll understand that there are reasons for feelings like that. Things that like parents said to me to make me think that I shouldn't be here kind of stuff. It's not just to be dramatic. It's like I grew up in a space where it wouldn't have been that crazy if I just wasn't around anymore, because it was kind of something I was often pushed to and told I should do. To have these great men, and I think that I've noticed all my favorite comedians are men, if I'm not mistaken, to have these great men just help me to not take life so seriously was valid. Like I needed that. You know, the most amazing thing happened because after 2020-ish, it really wasn't cool to say that you liked a lot of the people that I liked. It wasn't even cool to just even like their type of comedy. I think I started to feel really guilty. I was questioning myself a lot just when it came to comedy in general. You know, I felt like I wasn't allowed to enjoy it. I wasn't allowed to enjoy what I enjoyed. Part of being able to watch certain specials, just introducing them to other people, like a part of it was getting to hear someone else hear the joke for the first time. And if someone is deemed problematic, that's not really something I can do anymore. Or it's not something that's going to be guaranteed that they're actually going to be like, oh, this is so great. They might be like, why would you put him on? He's terrible. Or that's not funny, you know? And it's like, oh my goodness. And so it just felt like comedy had changed and it was no longer a place for me to feel comfortable. But the thing is, I did not realize that I was a very lonely, empty person for a very long time. So when I stopped laughing with my friends, I stopped laughing. I stopped listening to music years ago because so much of it would just have negative effects on me. But I didn't realize until years went by that music was a huge part of how I processed things and healed and all this different stuff. And I just kind of cut it all off. It never really dawned on me to think about comedy in that way. I think there was some years back where I discovered a lot of my new guys. You know, I had my comedy fist before, my 5, and then I had like a new fist, and they were all like the light skin coalition. There was Dion Cole on the Pinky Boy. Let me tell you something. I knew him from other stuff somehow. He was very familiar. And then there was one main brown skinned dude and 3 light skinned dudes. And the brown skinned dude was Josh Johnson. Okay. And every time I saw one of these guys, I'd be like, oh, let's see what Josh is up to. Because I don't know. I always connected with discovering these people around the same time. There was another person that I cannot remember, like for the life of me. I think he might have been the last one to be added. And then I never saw a special from him again because I know he was on there, but I don't know. And then if I ever do figure out who that was, I'll probably never tell you because that'd be very insulting. Like, you're so forgettable. But if anybody else remembers a light-skinned dude between like Langston Kerman and Tone Bell, tell me who it is. If he's like Josh Johnson-esque, okay? But again, Josh is the thumb, all right? These other people, and technically Dion wasn't a part of that because Dion, the new dudes were some of y'all saw my other video where I talked about I had a little fist, and Dion Cole is not really technically the Pinky, but Dion Cole is he's a Pinky person. So whoever got popular around the same time as Tone Bell and Langston Kerman and Josh Johnson, because I scrolled through Comedy Central stand-up for like 3 hours and I can't figure out who it is, so I give up. But I really do enjoy modern comics. Like, bruh, Ron Funches. So funny. Lunel technically is old school, but she's still around. Godfrey, Ralph Barbosa, Mark Normand. And you know what? Chocolate Sundays generally doesn't disappoint. Shout out to BT. And I think there's some other people too. Like, I'm not as big of a fan, but like one level down on like a tier list, there would be D-Ray, Roy Wood Jr., Miss Pat, Greer Barnes, Joel Kim Booster, Anthony Jeselnik, and Ryan O'Flanagan. I'm like Stanley with the meatballs, you know what I mean? I don't know exactly what it is about Josh Johnson that makes the perfect meatball, and where some just get like a full thumbs down. But like Stanley, my participation is proof I'm still enjoying the show. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about like Ali Sadiq, Dulce, Hannibal, Chris Redd, Joy Toy, Wanda Sykes, Kevin Hart even. If someone invited me to their show, I would go. And I'd probably laugh. But I don't think I would leave with the high that I felt after Josh Johnson. Or like even Dave Chappelle or Jim Gaffigan or something. Maybe it's because I've had the experiences of a light-skinned man and I just never knew that. Well, you think so too? I guess I never paid attention to why I like comedy so much. Why I like certain comedians so much more than others. Why certain types of stories just hit me in ways I never really noticed until now. It makes me wonder, do Josh and I just have a lot in common? Or is he some kind of like once in a generation everyman where every person could connect with him? I feel like that's actually kind of plausible at this point. He's like the black comedic Keanu Reeves or something like that, but with like big Nick energy. Because like Cage, Josh is about to be in everything across every genre. I can feel it. I've been a fan of Josh Johnson for over half a decade, which feels so crazy to say because when I tried to verify that a little while back, it seemed like he'd only been around for like 5 years, but that wasn't possible based on my timeline from when I discovered him. I don't know. But that does mean that for the past like 5 to 10 years, that odd friendship that I developed, it actually means that Josh Johnson has been my best friend forever. And what luck! What a freaking friend! I mean, shish! I mean, really, after my first show that I saw of him, it was his kindness and his energy, his like sweetness that made me realize a giant red flag on the way home. When my date tried to compare himself to Josh Johnson, I was just like, wow. That is the literal power of Josh Johnson being in people's lives. Like, that's just amazing to me. When someone like Josh Johnson is just himself, other people want to be like Josh. I don't think he realizes the effect he has on like grown men. I think that's amazing to have someone who isn't the nicest person in the world, but would really like to be seen that way thanks to Josh just being himself. I don't know, as I look back over the last 10 years of my life, years that I did not really want to be around, years that I didn't have anything to laugh at except for when I turned on my screen. I don't know, I just know in the grand scheme that it just happened to be Josh, but I'm really glad that Josh decided to follow his dreams and with such intention. Because I'm probably not the only one that he's inspired, the only one who is still here because of him. He's a gift that keeps on giving, and so is comedy, so is laughter. And so if like me, you too are a laugh peddler and you can hear my voice, do me a favor, go down there, get out of the comments and tell me a joke. I'd love to hear from you.